Hey guys, Grumpy here with the next episode of Zero to Hero. So, in the previous episode, we went on a reputation grind for the Persians, and now we are suspicious with them. So, we started at 92. We gained that mostly through fighting pirates and doing just a few derelict or survey missions. So, now they'll trade with us. That's really good. What we're working on next is dealing with the hegemony. I talked to Kanta in the previous episode, and if I over here during Colony Crisis, and I reset the I didn't reset the bar, but I lowered it by 100, gaining Kanta's protection. So now we're back in this waiting pattern to see what the hegemony choose to do. I'm not worried about them. I think our planet can defend against them. What I really would like, though, is this turn into a full blown conflict once we see what happens. At which point, then I can pivot and focus on just dealing with the hedge and beating them up. But until that happens, we'll just let this run in the background. The focus of today's episode, though, is to reconfigure all of our ships and get ready to go into the abyss. I think it's time. We've been putting it off long enough. We have all the ships we want. We have the weapons we want. So I think we can get this done. Let's head back home. At the top here, I would also like to give a very nice shout out to longtime follower of the channel, Zoni. They're the person responsible for the thumbnails that you see on these videos, and today is their birthday, or yesterday was their birthday, or tomorrow is. Whenever this goes up, time is relative, but I did want to wish them a happy birthday and say thank you for the support on the thumbnails. I'll make the series regardless, but I feel like once a series has a thumbnail attached to it, it's a little more concrete. And I'm sure you guys appreciate those as well. Alright. The two planets are Gamma Bolragi. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll be fine. Banshee's in size 6, and it should have a battle station, right? Yeah, it has a battle station. It's getting upgraded to a Star Fortress, and then Spectre already has a Star Fortress. Revenant does not, but it's colony size 5, and it should be growing pretty soon. Shipping disruption. Okay. Hegemony operating outside of their jurisdiction. Oh, worry, we'll remedy that. So, let's see. One of the first things that I want to do before I forget is correct a build. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we want to turn that into the hedge. I forgot. The only thing is we can't do it right now because our relations will reset. Yes, I remember. Okay, one thing that I want to do is add advanced optics back to my Sunders. This was pointed out to me why I chose to remove it, and that was just an oversight. It's very much supposed to be included in this build. So let me do that really quick. Thanks for pointing that out. And then if anyone sees something like that where it's just like egregious, then let me know, and then I'll try to address it in the next video. Getting back out into the abyss. I really like having the Ziggurats being the focus of the build. I feel really comfortable piloting it. It does phenomenal work. But something that I need to do to improve my fleet, and I was thinking about this, was see if I can worm derelict operations into the build. So, if you notice, if I go to the fleet, I have these automated ships. They're great. They're fantastic. But the issue is they have these permanent demods on them. Well, why not turn those flaws into a bonus by taking derelict operations? So derelict operations, what it does is reduce the deployment point cost of your ships by 6% per demod. Demod whole deployment cost reduction also applies to maintenance costs, so they would be cheaper to fly around. I think that's a phenomenal idea. I think our onslaught, automated onslaught, already has 5D mod, so it's going to get the maximum 30% reduction. So, for the 10 millionth time, we will reassign our skills, as is tradition at this point. In order to make space, I do want to keep cybernetic augmentation. Applying that buff to all of my ships, I think really makes a difference. So what we need to do is remove some of the things that we don't necessarily need. I mean, field mod is really good for face cloak cooldown, but is it necessary? I don't think so. Let's drop systems expertise. We don't need it. Let's take. Well, that would be one skill. We need 3, so we have to cut 3. I really like the maneuverability. Snapping the ziggurat around just feels nice. It's easy to lock on target. Let's try taking out field mod. Being able to duck back into face space sometimes is necessary, but not always. And the increased maneuverability on impact mitigation is too good. So it would be between damage control and combat endurance. I'll drop combat endurance because having our weapons come back online faster seems better. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Maximum CR. I don't know. We'll try this. We can swap them around if needs be. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and take polarized armor. We don't need polarized armor, but it's another skill that we can elite for cybernetic augmentation, so we'll take it. We'll reduce our supply cost, and then we'll take derelict operations. And now, if we look at our I should have showed the before and after. But if we look at our deployment point costs, it's being reduced by 7, so it's 33. And then for our Dominator. Oh, mine's going blank. It's being reduced by 7, so it's getting that 30% reduction. This makes our fleet more lethal. The ships we have are great, so being able to get more on the battlefield just really helps us turn the tide. And now, against something like Threat, it's really important to have a lot of ships on the battlefield because they usually start with a smaller fleet. So you're going to get the 240 deployment point advantage in your favor. So the more ships you can just jam on the battlefield, the better. Let's see here. So like our old slot, instead of it being 50 is 44, and our automated onslaught, instead of being 40, it's 30. So that's phenomenal. That's the price of a cruiser, like an Aurora. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we need to tune our fleet up for Abyss. I think you need two very different ships, or two very different layouts to deal with the shrouded threats. Uh, I guess that's confusing. To deal with the shrouded, the big red, red boys. I don't know where this is going. Um, if I pull them up here, Shrouded Eye, Shrouded Maelstrom, Shrouded Maw, and Tendrils. Um, they are built with a lot of hull, no armor. They don't have any armor. They have armor of 1. So you really don't need high explosives against them. What you need for them is high kinetic damage dealing weapons, which is great. We can definitely build for that. But then you have something like the threat here. If I learned what the fabricator is? I know of it. I haven't destroyed one of these yet. They're the opposite. They have a ton of hull, a ton of armor, and they kind of have weak shields. But you need something to punch through that much armor. It's a very dense ship. And their subunits, so like where is it? Like their hive units, same thing. Very difficult ships. 1600 armor, 1600 hull. Like that's a lot to get through. So you can, I think, well, knowing myself, I think I can only fight one type of threat at a time, one type of abyssal monster at a time. So I think what we should do is tailor our fleet towards dealing with like actual threat, because they have better weapons. I would like to secure their weapons first and then go deal with the shrouded. The shrouded aren't necessarily harder to kill. I just think it'll be more beneficial to our fleet faster if we were able to get threat weaponry over shrouded weaponry. That said, let me see something. Where's my substrate at? I guess I consumed it. Shrouded Lens, Shrouded Thunderhead. See, like, I don't know how good these are because I haven't had an opportunity to use them yet. But I've used, like, the Voltaic Cannon. I've used most of the weapons that don't require fragment swarms, and they seem very potent. And I think they would help fill a lot of gaps in my fleet. That said, I kind of already have. Well, I mean, I guess the fleet is mixed. All right, let's begin setting up for the threat. So the threat, like I said, have a lot of armor and have really weak shields. So we want to focus more so on high explosive. We can certainly do that. We want something like Mervs. My ship is perfect. I'm not gonna modify it. It's good as is. The only thing I wish is I had 2 Rift Cascade emitters. Sadly, I don't. Let's grab. Well, we already have the disintegrators. Let's swap these out for heavy autocannons, and then in the front. I don't know if there's anything that we would like to change. One thing that I will do is I'll swap out for Spark Interceptors. The fragments, I think, can be blown up with point defense. So we want something that provides that kind of coverage. I think to that end, we can add some more. Light Mass Driver. To that end, I think we can add more point defense surrounding or on the outside of this. I think that's fine. You already have good enough flux dissipation, for the most part. And you have expanded missile racks, heavy armor target, integrated targeting unit. I don't believe we need solar shielding. ECCM package is very important. Hardened shields. Not. I don't know if that's necessary. We'll see. What we'll get is advanced turret gyros though. And I think that's it. We'll try this out. Next up is the onslaught. So I think this build already works. Looks good. Storm Needler to the front to barrage their weakened shields. Heavy autocannons also to supplement the damage. And then 2 Devastator cannons. These should be really good against their fragments. They should be able to blow those up. You know what? In fact, I think I'm going to go for triple Devastators. And then we'll give you some more point defense. How is your flux dissipate? Oh, is it because of your thermal pulse cannon? Can I? You can't run a simulation. You can. I just don't know. I guess I just don't know of the like the threat. I wanted to know if the thermal pulse cannons can shoot through the fragment swarm. Like if it hits one, does it just dissipate or does it continue to go through? I don't know. I'm gonna assume it does go through. So let's drop. There's not really very many choices. Let's drop reinforced bulkheads and put in expanded magazines and oh, you have damaged hull. That's unfortunate. I guess we will be keeping reinforced bulkheads then. Alright. Well, we'll try that. Not all. Let's see. Oh, also, I need to check the skills to see if they reset. I'm gonna change the... I wish I could give you... No, it looks like the skills didn't change. I wish I could give you expanded missile racks. But I'm gonna change this so that they fire linked and see how that goes. Alright, let's try this again. I'm just keeping an eye on its flux. It is shield shunted, so we never have to worry about it overloading. I just want to make sure that it's not... It can fire its weapons. Something I might do is put its thermal cannons on alternating to help save flux. But this looks fine. It's able to fire all of its weapons. Oh, vicious. Its flux never got that high. If I check weapon groups, yeah, it says only 300 flux is coming off those thermal pulse cannons. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna make them alternating though, just to help save flux in case it comes down to that. Yeah, it should be fine. 340 is coming from point defense. And 340, another 340 is coming from point defense. So that's, what, like 700 flux? So if you knock 700 off of 22, that's, 1800? That's, seems right. No. 700 from 22 would be like 1500 flux. Okay, that makes sense. That's why the flux dissipation works here. It's just enough to cover the weapons that aren't point defense, and then if you don't include the thermal pulse cannons, it's more than enough. Okay, that works. Old slots. My. Let's see here. I think you do okay. You need a touch of kinetic, which you're getting from the heavy machine guns. Your flux, though, might not be okay. And I think it's the cryoblasters. The cryo blasters do a lot of damage, but I think like something that would be great to replace these would be the void blaster, which I don't think I have on any of these ships. Here it is, the void blaster. 1200 DPS, 150 sustained. Right, which is close enough to the cryo blaster. Cryo blaster doesn't have any charges, so it's just unlimited. 1 second refire delay. Do you have ballistic mastery? I could give you ballistic mastery. That would increase the... Oh wait, no. I thought ballistic mastery increased the weapon fire rate. Oh well. Alright. This one I'm not so convinced by. We'll see how that goes. Of course, I could always use the old slaughter's fodder. Just setting it out first or use it to hide behind. I mean, well, none of our automated ships have crew anyway. So we don't have to worry. And even if we lose in a fight, it has rugged construction, it's likely to come back. So, not really worried about that. Let's see here. Checking its weapon groups. Yeah, 1,000's coming from the cryoblasters. Hmm. I don't think I don't think the heavy adjudicators are affected by expanded or what is it? Expanded magazines. But let's check. Normally they have what, 20 charges? Let's see. Oh, they are. They're not listed as having charges. Okay. All right. I think we have to sub out the cryoblasters for something else. 500 flux per second. This one's 1,000. Um. I mean, we could give you more fragmentation, but I mean, you're already getting it from the heavy adjudicators. Let's see. The onslaught's not the best test for this, but if it can kill an onslaught, then it could kill a. Can probably kill threat. Why does that keep missing? It needs, and I don't know how it would do this, but it needs a source of EMP on the front. Do Mjolnirs have EMP damage? Gauss's do. No, Gauss don't. Yes, perfect. Alright, let's try this setup, but with Mjolnirs. So the problem the ult soldier is having is that it just takes too much frontal damage, but if we can disable the ship in front of it, this is way too much flux per second. But if we can disable the ship in front of it, then it doesn't have to worry about taking all that excess damage. Let's see. Maybe not triple Mjolnir, but double Mjolnir, and then maybe like a Storm Needler in the front could work. Triple Mjolnir is kind of outrageous. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't turn the last time. Yeah, see, that helps its survivability so much. It's using more of its flux. Yeah. Triple Mjolnir though is not necessary. Let's put. I would like a Storm Needler, but that's gonna cost so much. Let's try it out. You can also try maxing vents and lowering capacity, but I think we want it to be the other way. Let's see. Do you have ordnance expertise? You should. Alright. I'm trying to think of other ballistic weapons that have EMP. I know hypervelocity drivers also have it. So the Storm Needler doing excellent work driving up its shields. Means those thermal cannons are their heavy adjudicators are able to bite into the ship faster. And it looks like it prefers to fire sideways, so it's just using to use one Mjolnir at a time. That's okay. And let's try it the other way with more capacity, less vents. Actually, we'll do it this way. I want to sneak in another weapon. Dual flax are 12 OP? Ew, why? Alright, we can save ourselves some ordnance points if we just pick these up as flax. I mean, honestly, it probably doesn't even need this. But we'll see. And then, you know what? Let's change these heavy machine guns out for hypervelocity drivers. They're not the best, but they do have EMP. I need weapons with EMP damage. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I just need high DPS weapons to knock their weapons offline. Not too sure. The hyper velocity drivers are going to be too much to sustain. So we'll just go back to heavy machine guns. I think that's fine. Again, I don't think we need solar shielding. I'm going to give you auxiliary thrusters just to help you swing your ship back and forth. Does it look like that is the new strategy you developed? Just allowing it to turn faster means that it can bring its weapons to bear quicker. What you need is gunnery implants. I don't know if you guys saw, but it fired off Mjolnirs that just went completely errant. Oh, it is taking hull damage, but it's being repaired. Awesome. Alright. Yeah, maybe auxiliary thrusters didn't make a difference. Huh. Let me see. If that... Hold on. If that's the case... When below 100% hull, repair 0.5 per second. Total repair is the higher of 2,000 points or 50% of maximum hull. Oh, is the higher of the two. Oh, so the more hull we give you, the stronger that is. Why didn't you guys tell me? So you need reinforced bulkheads. That's a huge difference then. Yeah. That actually makes a ton of difference. So all of you need that then. Yeah. You have reinforced bulkheads. Okay, cool. Maybe that's what I was missing before. Maybe we don't have to worry about it. It's survivability. It just needs to be able. Well, if you have enough hull, you can just tank whatever whatever is thrown at you. I'm gonna take these off, and I'm gonna put what is it? Heavy armor on top. See how that goes. Okay, our Pegasus needs to be swapped. The missiles need to be swapped. I think we want Merbs on the Pegasus. Over the Gorgons, or over the Hydras. I think we're just gonna get more out of the Merbs. The IR Autolances are fine, and then the Inimical Emanations are good because they provide the EMP damage. This Pegasus does not have any demods. We'll work on getting it demods. So we'll have to lose this ship a couple times. I think this one is fine. We want the Merbs linked. Yes. You do not need 2 reality disruptors. But unfortunately, we don't really have a place to put it. Like, we don't have another ship to give it to. We do have other ships that we can give it to. Our Sunders. These aren't beams though, so they wouldn't benefit from advanced optics. But escort package or integrated targeting unit would be good for them. Flux per shot is 2,000? Yikes. Projectiles fire EMP arcs at nearby enemy targets while traveling. The damage shown for the EMP arcs is for the EMP arcs. The projectile itself does not deal damage and will pass over shields. Weapons and engine repairs take twice as long. So that's a range of 1,000. Let's see something. Run a sim. And then you need a capital ship next to you. So you won't deal... ridiculous. You won't deal any damage yourself, but what you will be able to do is fire off this reality disruptor. And do exactly that. And I just want to make sure that it goes all the way to the edge of our range. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna abandon the... I'm gonna abandon the Atlas really quick just to see if this affects the range. Yep, that's all you get. Okay, cool, perfect. So, a little unorthodox here, but what I'm going to do is use the Sunders for the reality disruptor then. You have gunnery implants, and we can grab an officer with gunnery implants as well to really jack up that range. As far as your secondary weapons go then, not really sure what else. Could do grab beams. I think IR auto lances just make sense. They'll be able to shoot. Well, they're in a turret spot. I'll say they're gonna be able to shoot down fragments, but not necessarily, since they can't really rotate. You don't have charges, so the only thing that's benefiting would be the IR auto lens, and then of course the railguns. I I think this build is okay. We'll keep the expanded magazines. We'll just keep everything as is. Only thing we'll change is giving you more capacity to work with. And we'll name this RD. And what they'll do is flank the Odyssey, and they'll provide the reality disruptor. Really quick, just curious, before we end up firing this potentially at one of our own ships, what would happen? Okay, just wanted to double check to make sure it's harmless to our ships. All right, that's wonderful. I really like that. I like how that looks. Super happy with those. So you now have 60 ordnance points to play with, and unfortunately we don't have any good weapons to give you. Double auto post laser. Double auto post laser Odyssey is devastating. Yeah, I think I want to try that. And then the hope would be, I'm not sure if this exists, but if there are weapons, let me see, large weapons that are a threat. No. Maybe we just don't know about them. But if there are large weapons that are a threat, then we'll see if we can utilize those instead. Go ahead and put resonators on it. And I think that's fine. Do we want rift lances? I don't think we need rift lances. Antimatter blaster though, combined with integrated targeting unit. Now we're talking. No, I don't think we need to do that. Let's just make sure that we have more PD to cover ourselves. Weapon groups, make sure they're assigned, make sure they make sense. Resonators alternating is fine. Let's go ahead and put our Rift Torpedo on 2. Auto Pulse Lasers on 1. Shock Repeater, Burst PD, all are fine. Confirm. And then let's try this out. Just run a simulation against an Odyssey, or against a Onslaught with our Odyssey. And we'll see how this goes. Odyssey might get killed here. We'll see how this goes. Oh, it needs way more flux. Yeah, it needs way more capacity. You have ordnance expertise. You don't have elite ordnance expertise. Maybe maybe we want you in here. Or maybe we want you in here, actually. We would need to fire an officer. I'll go ahead and fire you. Energy Weapon Mastery Elite does make sense. You're gonna get bonus damage, and then it's gonna cost less to fire. And let's elite Ordnance Expertise and see how this goes. Run a simulation. Ooh. Oh, you don't have missile specialization. So you only get 2 charges of that Rift Torpedo before it has to reload. Five is the maximum. Alright, what we need to do is swing by a Tritachyon Worlds, pick up some Tritachyon officers, and I think we can build a better one. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, we would probably do best in the Odyssey. But I think we could build a better officer if we have Tritachyon ones, so that's fine. We'll leave you in there for now. We'll give you events. Should be fine. You are good as is. The Hephaestus was okay. I'm gonna swap back to the Devastators though. And I think everything else is fine. You probably don't need Fluxful Adjunct. You probably need heavy armor, to be honest. Yep, should be fine. You know what? Actually, you know it'd be really fun if I shield shunted you. Nah, we'll leave it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Of all the ships, I'm really dubious on this one. 7,000 hull is nothing. Same with you. We'll see how it goes. You're fine as is. You're fine as is. You are okay. But the issue is we needed it to make you faster. Let's try safety overrides. So let's make you just like lethal up close. Two cryo flamers. Two ion pulsars, and that's it. Oh. Can you get a better officer in there? We don't need missile specialization. I mean, I guess all our officers have missile specialization, so it doesn't really make a difference. This one I'm definitely not sure about. Let's put you up against the Eagle, see what happens. We don't need the voltaic. Actually, we don't need the ion pulsers. Now that I look at it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Okay, let's do some rearranging. Let's do cryo flamers in the back, and then let's do heavy machine guns on the front. And you're gonna need way more capacity, but we'll work through this. Maybe you don't need burst PD. Maybe you can just get away with regular PD. And then... Oh, I guess you guys have a range of 800, so it doesn't really make sense to use you, because we're not getting anywhere near that range. You know what would work here, actually? 2 mini pulsers. I like that. And then on the front, what are we putting? I think that's... Honestly, I think that's it. You have charges, you have charges. So you guys both benefit from that. And we don't need that much. Actually, we don't need any vents. We're already covered. Let's just put it in capacity and see how this goes. Fleet. Alright, let's see how you go. Oh, you know what? We need some sort of EMP damage. No, we don't. We need more kinetic damage. Alright, heavy machine guns to the front it is. The problem is, though, we run into the fact that we don't have any capacity to sustain this. We need PD, otherwise the Falcon will freak out and it won't continue to fire on target. It'll just start swinging wildly. As it tries to dodge the salamander. But I would love to drop that. Alright, let's see. Yeah. I really like the idea of the mini pulsers, but it's just not gonna work. Let's go for 2 ion cannons and then give it more capacity, and then we'll... Does anyone have... You have ordnance expertise already. Maybe you're our guy. Let's see. The ion cannon is there, or well, source of EMP damage is there, just so that we can limit how much damage the enemy is doing to us, so we can focus on using our flux to deal damage to them. See, like, if we had to defend ourselves, we wouldn't be able to fire off the cryo flamers. Yeah. That's better, but that's very risky. I don't know. We could build an expanded mags. You know what? Let's try it out. Of all the ships, I think this is also one of the ones that we need to keep an eye on in combat just to see how it performs. Oh well, you know what? There won't be any salamander missiles, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't need point defense in the rear at least. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. I don't think the wolf is making it into the fight, so let's put that away. And I don't think the Tempest is making it into the fight either. If I had any more omens, I would like to bring them, but I don't think that's the case. And you know what? Let's bring the Retribution. They'll be dirt cheap to deploy. I think our fleet needs eradicators. They're not pirate eradicators. They don't have burn drive. They just have what's it called? Accelerated ammo feed. But yeah, sure, we'll bring them. Alright. And then we need to get some more omens. And then, as in case of emergency, if we do blow up the ziggurat, we'll bring an Aurora with us on standby. Cool. And we'll sit an officer in there that has ballistic missile specialization. Sure, you can go in there. All right. So after we fix these retributions up, I think this is the fleet that we'll use to go hunt threats. Now, for our retribution, how do we want this built? Yeah, they're 27 deployment points to deploy. They're 35 normally. So with the reduction, they're even cheaper. This is like the price of, I think, a Dominator normally. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the mule, we could build it kind of how we built the old slot, but I don't think we have the flux to support that, like, at all. No. We could do triple devastator. We can do dual flax everywhere. And then we can do, sorry, single flat. And then behind it, let's do heavy needler. For the missiles, I think this is why we need access to fragments, because bringing 8 fragment missiles might be like a difference maker. I'm just gonna bring salamanders. No, I mean, how fast are the threat ships? Top speed 90. That is very fast. 40, 70, 90, 130. No, I mean, we don't need to pin them down, but we don't really have unlimited missiles otherwise. What we could do is put hammers down the sides, pilot ourselves, fire off all the hammers, and then leave the Orion to leave the Retribution to die. You know what? I think it'll be funny. This is a gambit. Don't know if it'll work. But the idea is, if it's fighting something in front of it and something passes by it on the side, it is going to eat a bunch of hammers. Will that make a difference? Who knows? But it'd be cool if it works. And then the last thing I think is just applying some more kinetic pressure. With the light dual autocannons. I think this is okay. Let's get an officer in here. And what you need is... do you have combat endurance? You don't. Neither one. You have combat endurance, but I need you for the Odyssey. Let's see. Could go for heavy armor. And let's go for reinforced bulkheads. Fragment coordinator. Where's reinforced bulkheads? Right there it is. Alright, we'll try this out. How does this look? This might actually be a better ship. Oh. We'll just go with this instead, and that'll be that. Alright, so this is the fleet that we're going to use. I think it looks alright. There's definitely some questionable builds here or there. But for the most part, we're going to be controlling the fight with the ziggurats. Everything else is supplemental damage. The character skills have been modified. Everything here should be elite. Yes, and there's no way, unfortunately, to get gunnery implants and have 3 capstone mods. So we're getting 8% cybernetic, 8% to all of our ships, damage dealt and less damage taken, as well as 16% damage for us. Derelict operations make our ships cheaper to deploy, and I think everything here looks good. All right, so in the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and head out into the abyss. I believe that we can deal with, or our colonies can deal with the hegemony. If we get notice when it pops that we have to go protect our colonies, it's no big deal. We'll just hop back in the gates, head back home, and then defend, and then we'll head out. But the intention of next episode is to finally embrace the abyss and get out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know this was like a bottle episode where we didn't really leave the system, but hopefully you guys at least enjoy some of the shipbuilding and designing. I think that's a very important part of Starsector, and it's not to be overlooked. Anyway, other than that, Grumpy out.